Are we live? We're live. We've got the whole crew. Look here. We got the pile of fishing dogs. Well, one of them's a fishing dog. The other one's just a dog. Skeeter Bug, what are you doing? Skeeter's live with us tonight, folks. She's going to help us with top baits. Bailey had a wacky worm on her nose in the thumbnail, in case y'all didn't see. I thought that was pretty skilled, honestly. I was pretty proud of Bailey for that. Excuse my voice. I'm a little hoarse. A little hoarse today. I guess Skeeter's going to sit behind me, and Bailey's just going to kind of hang out over here. Because Bailey's old. She got that old white face. She just kind of hangs out with it. So she doesn't really too excited. Until you throw a ball or something, then it's like 800 miles an hour to the door. So what's going on, everybody, man? Appreciate you guys joining me and the Hounds tonight. We got the whole crew in here, the whole crew of Hounds. Man, there's a lot of folks jumping in here. This is awesome, dude. Thank you guys so much for dropping the comments. Everybody that hasn't, go ahead and drop me a comment. Let me know when you get here. Drop me a thumbs up as well if you don't mind. Help us get some more folks watching. If I can get Skeeter to stop licking me. We got Justin Boyd, the Bass Fishing Mafia, Ben Bossy, Ben Show, we ain't seen you in a while, buddy. Ronnie Green, Todd Udi, J-Bo's in the house, Bass Raider, Andrea Lorraine, Big C, Gary Payne, Kevin Jones, Cody Mays, JC, Bryant White, and many, many, many others as well. If I didn't get to your name, I sincerely apologize. So let's talk about the top baits and the game plan for this weekend. The weather's going to be pretty steady. Skeeter, you can't mess with the rods. You got to go over here, baby. Go. Stay over there. So, this is why I don't do live anymore, because this one, she just wants to be into everything. I don't bring her on the live shows anymore because she's wanting to go crazy over here. The game plan for this weekend, you know, I'm kind of doing something a little bit different. I do it every year, but it works for me. It's a little outside the box thinking, so to speak, but it's been very effective for me over the years. And what I'm doing is I'm going deep early. So I'm starting my morning out at 6 a.m. and I'm going and getting on them electronics at 6 a.m. and I'm running offshore stuff. First thing in the morning, before most of the other boats get out there and start monkeying with that offshore stuff. What you got? Found something to chew on. Now you're back. Of course, you found a fishing bait or something to chew, an old plastic to chew on. What's in there? Let's see what we chewing on today. What are we chewing on today? Some type of old swim bait head she found on the floor. Good job, Skeeter. Here you go. Just don't eat it. So I'm going deep early, man. And what I've found for me, it seems like the groups of fish are better early or late. Well, I'm not fishing late, you know. Man, I've got a family life. I've got a business to run. That fishing late into the evening just doesn't really work for my schedule of everything else that I have going on. So I'm taking advantage of that same type of deal that happens in the evening. It actually is happening in the morning to an extent as well. And so I'm fishing deep from 6 a.m. till 8, 9, 10 o'clock, whenever boats start crowding the offshore stuff. As soon as all the boats start crowding the offshore stuff, flipping it, running up into the creek arms that have some vegetation in them, fishing some grass, some deeper scattered edges of grass. Wherever there's a little bit, it doesn't, and deep's a very relative term, like it might be 3 or 4 foot, but it's 3 or 4 foot in a massive flat that's only 1 foot all the way around it. So that little depression is sucking all those fish that live in that grass are sucking to that little bit deeper water. And that bite, okay, in the creek channels and the drains and the depressions, that bite gets better the higher the sun is, because the hotter it gets, the more those fish pull into that slightly deeper water in those shallow water areas. So it's very effective for me to start that way. When I go offshore, Carolina rig has been a great bait for us this week. Also, the swing head. On the Carolina rig, I'm throwing the Impact, M-PACK, Impact Shad. And this, I think this is Watermelon Red Magic. It's like a watermelon red with some gold and silver flakes. I think it's Watermelon Red Magic, but watermelon red type colors have been the best on plastics for me this week, but it doesn't mean you can't throw a watermelon candy. I think anything green probably will work right now. But the fluke style bait, and this one, this Impact Shad with that little joint in it, is very, very good on a Carolina rig. That's been a great bait offshore for us first thing in the morning. Also, stroker crawl on the 3/4 ounce swing head. The 6-inch 3/4 ounce swing head, 6-inch stroker crawl. Very, very effective for us as well. Still, watermelon red's been my best color on that as well. But again, I think anything green would work for you. And then the bait that we just had a video on last night, the Finesse Shaky Head. So if you get out there early in the morning, sometimes the wind's not blowing you. Now, yesterday the wind was blowing, like it's been blowing early, so we haven't had to worry about it. We haven't really thrown this the last couple days. But around shaky head is a straight up bite getter. Are y'all losing connection with me? I'm not showing any connection loss. So if you're losing connection with me, I don't know, it might be on your end, but if you are losing connection, a bunch of y'all let me know right now. Somebody made a comment about when they're losing me. So this little finesse shaky head, really, really effective bait when it's calm especially. When it's not calm, it's kind of hard to feel this bait, and that's when I'll step up to a bigger shaky head or a big jig or something like that. But yeah, first thing in the morning, no wind, little shaky head will catch every one of them fish down there. Okay, so now we're going to transition to the shallow water deal. So the shallow water deal in the grass flats and the backs of the creeks, man, you know, it's my old trusty rusty, the chatterbait, the 3/8 ounce chatterbait, white shad colored with a smash tail junior, which is a discontinued bait, but just a little short paddle tail. Also the Divine swim bait in the 3.8 size is a really good trailer. Kitex make a really good trailer for this. I've been using that Impact shad as a trailer, but for some reason yesterday they bit the chatterbait with the paddle tail a lot better, so that's where we are here. Here we are today with the paddle tail back on it. So you can kind of experiment around with the straight tail or the paddle tail trailers and see which one they're biting better on that day. It's kind of a two-prong attack. And we are throwing a little swim bait as well up shallow around the grass. But the other thing we're doing that's really getting probably more bites. Now that chatterbait's getting a bigger bite, but the other thing we're doing is getting more bites is we're throwing some weightless plastics. So the wacky worm is great. Some days the wacky worm is great. Some days like Texas rigged weightless stick bait is great, like a Senko or the Clout stick bait from 6 Sense is the one I'm using. Also the Impact Shad, a fluke style bait, weightless Texas rigged is really good too. So kind of have to experiment with your baits day to day, but right now, if you think about the patterns that I'm doing, I'm going out early and I'm dragging. The crankbait bite has been almost non-existent. I've had a few bites this week on underspin jig head with a swim bait, but the crankbait, the deep cranking bite has gone away for me. But the dragging bite's good offshore. Dragging Carolina rig, dragging that swing head, and then dragging that finesse shaky head, or even the big shaky head at times. So dragging early is my main pattern, and then as soon as the main lake stuff on Lake Fork starts getting crowded, now listen, if it wasn't Lake Fork and those spots weren't getting crowded, the later in the day it got, I feel like the better those spots will be. What I feel like happens on Lake Fork is those fish are kind of out there overnight, unmolested. A few people fish them, but not nearly as many. And those schools get a chance to kind of gather up. You show up there first thing in the morning, there's some decent schools of fish. You catch those schools of fish, you run as many as you can. Then all of a sudden, when all the deep spots start getting boats on them, those schools start getting busted up. They get harder to find. The schools start breaking up. The shad starts leaving. Everything starts to dissipate in the middle of the day when all those boats get out there. If this was another lake that doesn't get the pressure Fork does, that wouldn't happen. And we could just fish that offshore stuff all day. Skeeter, if you knock these rods over, get your honey over there. If this is another lake that didn't get all the pressure, we'd probably stay offshore all day. But on Lake Fork, we do have the grass in the backs of these creeks, and we can go catch some really big fish. Our two biggest fish yesterday came up shallow, so in the middle of the day, like noon, 1 o'clock, if that tells you anything. So, get over here. So when you transition to the grass, it's a two-prong attack there. You got the little chatterbait, the little swim baits, or you can go weightless plastics. So that's some baits, that's my game plan. Now, let me answer some questions for you folks out there. Fishing Midwest asked, am I going to stick with Skeeter boats or am I going to change to another brand like some of the other YouTubers? I'm sticking with Skeeter boats. That's my plan right now. Unless Skeeter tells me they don't want me to stick with Skeeter boats, I'm sticking with. Man, look, I got a little dog named. This dog is named Skeeter. You think I could go get me like a Phoenix and have a dog named Skeeter? Like that? That wouldn't be right. I got a big old Skeeter logo on my wrap truck. Man, I couldn't. No, I'm sticking with Skeeter. Skeeter is my brand. I'm a big believer, big proponent of Skeeter boats. Quit going that way. Get on the couch. Actually, get on the couch. Stay on the couch. Crazy head. Does the 6 Sense code apply to rods as well? Yeah, so, oh my God, she just goes off the couch. That's why we don't bring her on live anymore. Right there. Right there. Yes, the 6 cents code, Your Lake Fort Guide. So if you order anything from 6centsfishing.com, punch in the code Your Lake Fort Guide, you'll get a 10% discount on all orders, including apparel, including terminal tape, like anything you order, you can punch that code in. Trying to learn offshore structure fishing, what exactly do they look like on a side imaging? They look like a white speck with a shadow underneath, like separated from it, shadow underneath it. Creepy guy's back in the corner. Creepy guy never left the corner. He just sometimes we hide him behind that Yamaha show. But yeah, I mean, you know, this is like the best fishing information possible when the most interesting man in the universe hangs out with you every time you do it. So I'm just saying. It kind of gives you a little clout, as the youngins say. Am I punching any mats lately? Not really. Not really, just because, man, you know, the fishing's been good. Like, punching mats is it's hard to do with certain customers. Like, you have to have a certain skill set to punch mats. It's kind of a tougher bite to figure out. But it's also just more time consuming. Like, you grind out bites. It's a little tougher way of fishing. I enjoy punching for me, but I've always got somebody else on my boat. So we've been catching plenty of fish doing other things. So I haven't had, like, I kind of use the punch and mat deal as something like a last resort, okay, with customers. So I haven't had to. It's also a little sketchy when you got customers that you don't know slinging 1 ounce weights around your head all day. It gets a little worrisome. So if I can catch them, listen. I know I've got the reputation to be a shallow water guy, but if I can go out on a main lake piece of structure, especially like a wide open, no timbered main lake piece of structure, and drag baits and catch them, that's what I want to do. It's a lot easier with customers, a lot easier. I thought that was Joe Biden back there. If you thought Joe Biden was in my garage, you have never watched any of my videos, like, for sure. Never. Any smaller lakes with a deep bite you recommend? Well, Lake Athens has been a lot of schooling fish on Lake Athens. We've got a video coming Monday from Lake Holbrook. It's been fishing really good. So yeah, man, there's a couple of smaller lakes that are fishing good right now. Hey! What are you? Golly, she's into everything. She went and picked up a caulk tube out of there, out of that little blue box that's in the corner on the side over there, and started carrying it across. Like, she will pick up anything and carry it off. Come here, you big goofy goober dog. Why don't you stay here in my lap? How about that? Here goes Billy unhinged on the Biden comment. I'm not gonna go unhinged. I'm a woosah. Any flutter spoon bites? Yes. There are some flutter spoon bites. Not a lot. But especially if you see, like, a lot of times, especially once they've gotten broken up a little bit, you'll see a lot of fish kind of up high and spread out and suspended and kind of scattered in these schools. When you see that flutter spoon can be the deal to kind of draw them to it, trigger bites. Todd has something about punching, but I don't know what he has. Oh, you'll shoot your eye out. Yeah. I don't know if he does here or not. Have to thank the police and military out there. Crazy times, absolutely. We absolutely thank and honor the police and military. In fact, so we haven't talked about the tournament. So I know most of you guys are watching right now know, but just in case you don't, we've got that tournament coming up July 4th and 5th. 2 tournaments in 1 weekend. And it's going to be benefiting the organization 22 Kill, which goes to therapy and suicide prevention for veterans and police officers. And I do believe they work with police officers and first responders as well. And it's, man, all kinds of PTSD therapy. They really support families. Somebody made a comment on a post about the tournament. It was a mother whose son wanted to be an Air Force fighter pilot, a jet pilot. And, you know, man, this is a terrible story, but the poor young man. He ended up committing suicide, and it was over some school bullying or something crazy like that. And 22 Kill even stepped up and helped their family, and like it was just a kid that wanted to be in the military. So 22 Kill, man, they're such an awesome organization, and we're having a bass fishing tournament to help raise money to help them support our veterans and first responders that are struggling. And we're gonna do that July 4th and 5th. $100 team entry, $100 per team per boat. 70% payback, so you guys will have a chance to win some money back. 30% goes to the organization. We're gonna have an auction. I should have brought. We've got an autographed guitar from Whiskey Myers. I got it in the mail this week. It's been autographed by the entire band, Whiskey Myers. Todd, actually, the guy watching, he's their bus driver. He helped put that together along with Cody Cannon, the lead singer. So we've got some really cool auction items coming that we're going to be auctioning off, and 100% of the auction proceeds are going straight to 22 Kill. We're going to have a tournament where on Sunday, a second tournament, where you can fish in a team format with guides. Every fish counts over 2 pounds. Weigh them in the boat. It's going to be there'll be some prizes, but it's going to be more of a for fun, for pride competitive deal. But you can bid on guides to be your partner, the guide of your choice, and then you're going to go fish an MLF, every fish counts over 2 pounds style format, and have hourly updates. It's going to be a ton of fun. So if you guys are into supporting the military and police, holler at us, come see us on July 4th and 5th. If you need any more information on how to get involved in that, donate, register, whatever, email us at info@fishlife.net. Gigamags, that's right. Somebody dropped me a Gigamags. Scratch Skeeter Bug behind the ear. She licks the fish so they come back and see when they get bigger. I keep scratching Skeeter Bug behind the ear, but she won't sit still. She's crazy. Would you be still? Can you be still? Don't lick my face either. Why can't you do what this one does? See this one? She just sits here. Why don't you do that? Crazy dog. So crazy. Get out of here. Stay. Stay there, please. Man. Fishing Midwest said buddy of him just took his own life because of PTSD, man. That's I'm really sorry about that, man. That's a tough deal. It's a really tough deal. It hits home, you know. I know some guys that struggle. I'm really sorry about that, man. We're going to do everything we can to help them any way we can. We're going to use this platform. We're going to come together, bring some unity to the community, and do it all for a good cause and help those guys that are struggling that have done so much to preserve our freedoms. Y'all show up and show out for that deal, man. I'm calling on you. I'm calling on you. I need you. I need you to show up for me July 4th and 5th now. Any electronics videos in the future? Absolutely. Absolutely. We can do that. Justin Boyd says, once the spoon bite gets good, we need Billy and Chris Zaldane in the boat together to settle the feud on which setup lands more fish. I don't know that I rate being in the same boat with Chris Zaldane. I don't think Chris Zaldane has a clue who I am. I would love that. Obviously, I would think that'd be awesome to go fish with Chris Zaldane, and I'll get to sit there and tell him how wrong he is and feel like an idiot when he whoops my butt. Here's the deal. Chris Zaldane's good enough. He's going to beat me whether he has the right setup or the wrong setup because he's Chris Zaldane and he's just better than I am. So there's that. Somebody said, dang, what do you feed that dog? She's getting huge. Yes, she is growing like daily. Ben Shope says, I really hope I can make it out. Where do you go to bid on a partner? So we'll actually have, that'll be at the auction item at the weigh-in. We'll have a silent auction going on for the guide partners on day 2 while we're auctioning off the other items and while we're weighing in fish. Like this, the weigh-in on Saturday is going to be banging, dude. It's going to be at 4 o'clock. Well, it's going to start at 3:30. It's going to start at 3:30. But we're going to have a weigh-in. Me and my boy Chris Blackman are kind of be emceeing it a little bit. The guys from Victory Fishing, shout out to Victory Fishing for donating their weigh-in facilities, their trailer and all that. We're going to have auction tables set up. We're going to have items that we're auctioning live. We're going to have silent auction going on. May have some raffle stuff. Like we just may give stuff away. It's just going to depend on what all we end up getting to show up. And it's going to be a good time, man. You guys should really come out. I'm telling you, even if you're not going to fish it, even if you can't buy anything, just come out and hang out with us, man. I'm sure it's going to be a great time. There will probably be a Whiskey Myers song or 10 played. It'll be good times. When is the next Build the Ultimate Angler going to happen? Old Blackman needs to redeem himself. He does. That was a what they call that was old Triple P. A piss poor performance is what that was by old Blackman on that deal. Have I thrown the 6 cent speed wake yet? Yeah, I've actually been throwing the 6 cent speed wake since the end of last summer. I had a prototype of it, just a bone white prototype of it. It's yeah, in the fall that bait is amazing. And with these schooling fish, I don't know why I haven't picked it up. I guess it just kind of slipped my mind. I need to be throwing it more because I don't have the one. I need to be throwing it more around these schooling fish, but man, I caught their butts on it in the fall when they got to chasing shadow now. I had to keep it under my hat though because it wasn't even close to being ready to sell yet, so I couldn't put it on camera. When do I throw a fluke and what time of day? Middle of the day around deeper scattered deeper scattered grass edges right now. Bought a pair of Waterlands. Awesome. Yeah, hey, I don't have them on me. I left them in the house. The Waterland glasses, waterlandco.com. Go over there and check that out. Order those Waterland glasses, man. If you guys are looking for some eyewear that has the highest quality lenses you'll find for about half the price of what the real ones cost, right now at Waterland, you can go on their website, waterland.com, and order the glasses you want. Okay, they're on sale, which brings them down to, I don't remember what, but then you punch in the code, your Lake Fork Guide on Waterland as well. That gives you another 10% off. You end up going down to about $100. It's like $102 for a pair of top of the line sunglasses that are as good as anything else you'll find. So really, really smoking deal on fishing eyewear at Waterland right now. Go check that out. 6 cent swank. Tell me about the 6 cent swank. Saw Matt Lee throwing it in the last Florida tourney. Yeah, so the deal with the swank is it's a grass bait. It's a deeper grass bait. It dives a little deeper. It's going to dive 5, 6, 7 foot depending on line. But that little L-shaped bill comes through grass like a maniac, man. Top secret. There's an old bait called a Strike Pro Bubba that's discontinued. This bait's a real similar bait to that Strike Pro Bubba. If you've ever heard of this guy named Todd Castledine that like won everything on Sam Rayburn, that's what he wanted on. That old Strike Pro Bubba. And Todd, back in the day, used to work with 6 cents, and that's when this bait got designed. Just saying. Maybe a coincidence, definitely not. If you literally the legend that is Todd Castledine on Sam Rayburn, it was built on that bait. So it's an amazing bait, man. Stanky Fish is asking me a question about motor guide and their GPS system. Man, I don't know anything about not modern motor guides at all. I haven't had a motor guide in 10 years. I don't know, brother. Kevin caught just Jerry Carson. His brother Kevin caught a 5-pounder on Sunday in the tournament on a speed wake, second cast. Speed wake will catch him now, I'm telling you. Speed wake's good bait. Who are some of the other guys to bid on? I don't remember all the names offhand. I know for sure Jonathan Bowling's going to be there, of course. Mark Pack, the Pac-Man is in. James Niggemeier, former Elite Series. So you got an FLW Tour major winner. You got James Niggemeier, who was on the Elite Series forever and like one of the best on earth for a long, long time. Man, there's some other guys that I don't know. I've got a list of names in there I'd have to go look at, but there's a few for you anyway. It's going to be a good list of guys. I guarantee you, everybody that gets a guide partner in that deal, no matter who they get, is going to have a great time because all these guys are really, really good dudes. They're really good fishermen, and they're there for the cause. They're donating their day that they could book a $500 guide trip to help this cause out, and I can't thank them enough. I can't speak highly enough about them. Can't thank them enough. What's my opinion on Jacob Wheeler? Number 1 in the world. That's my opinion on him. Nice guy, too. Really nice guy, too. Do I change the hooks out on the swank, or does it come through the grass fine as it is? It comes through the grass just like it is. You know, Sixth Sense does a good job of really studying and putting the time in to research their baits and get them right, so that you really like. I don't have any Sixth Sense baits that I have to change the hooks on. They all come ready to go. Thanks to the guides, absolutely. Thanks. I apologize for missing the question. I saw a couple guys earlier asking what my PB is. We talked about that a few times. It's actually, we have a video of it on this channel. Um, so I don't catch a lot of the big fish, because like if me and you are fishing tomorrow and you're my customer and I catch 2 on the chatterbait, I'm gonna be like, here, bro, throw this chatterbait. I don't end up catching most of the big fish. So my personal best is a 10.6. I've only caught like 3 fish over 10 pounds. But I've had 3 fish over 12 pounds in my boat that customers have caught, other people have caught with me. The biggest one anybody's caught with me was 12 pounds, 13 ounces. Almost 13. And it was post-spawn. It was the end of May, so that was a huge fish, really huge fish. What's my top 5 for the Arkansas River? I don't know. Something black, something chartreuse with a lot of vibration. I don't know. I think the Arkansas River's muddy. I think. What is the best thing to throw early morning shallow? A frog or a buzzbait? I'd probably have a frog and a buzzbait going first thing in the morning. Get around some grass, throw a frog and a buzzbait. If you're gonna fish shallow early right now, topwater is the way to go. If there's not a lot of vegetation, throw a popper or a spook junior, some type of treble hook topwater. If you're gonna be around vegetation, throw a frog and a buzzbait. I would definitely throw topwaters. If I'm fishing shallow early right now, 100% throw topwaters. Another, just want to say God bless the police in this country. I support law enforcement. Yeah, but no, we support law enforcement 100% on this channel as well. And in fact, if you don't 100% support law enforcement, get the hell out of here. Stop watching me. I don't like you. I think you're a detriment to this country. Get the heck out of my way. Every profession has bad people. Every profession has people that make mistakes. That deal that happened in Minnesota or wherever that was, it was Minneapolis, whatever, the George Floyd deal, man, that was a bad deal. That guy's been involved in, that cop has been involved in multiple killings, always got away with it. That cop has had multiple complaints from fellow officers. He's a bad guy. He's a bad guy. Not all fishing guys are great guys. Hey, I was in the Marine Corps. Not all Marines are upstanding citizens. I'm going to tell you, there's some dirtbags in there. Some of the Marines would probably tell you I was one of the dirtbags. But, you know, when you stop and think about what goes on in this country and the millions of interactions with civilians that the police officers in this country have every single day, I would say that the success rate at which those interactions go overwhelmingly well with is, simply put, amazing. I think that our police in this country do an absolutely unbelievably amazing job of keeping their interactions with the public positive. And every once in a while mistakes happen. Every once in a while bad things happen. Now, there's other things that happen, like, man, that dude, I think it was in Atlanta, that dude in Atlanta that like tried to grab their gun, tried to grab their taser. Man, he didn't have a gun, so they shouldn't have shot him. But man, that guy kind of asked for it. Like, there's other. Have you seen these videos where the cops try to not go for their gun when the guy's unarmed, and then the guy ends up getting back to his car and grabbing his own gun and shoots the cops? Like, we put them in a very difficult situation. The George Floyd deal, that's ridiculous. You can't kneel on somebody's neck for no longer than it takes for you to get them handcuffed and subdued. As soon as they're handcuffed and under control, you got to get off his neck. Like, that's ridiculous. I haven't heard anybody argue against that. Like, I don't understand all these riots over George Floyd. Like, the entire country agrees that was wrong. Why are we rioting? Everybody's on the same page. You can't do that. Guess what? That dude's in prison. He ain't coming out of prison probably ever. Like, what do you want? What is this riot going to produce for you? What are you going to get out of it? I don't understand what we're doing here. So I think there's a lot of people. I think there's a lot of people in this country that are, I think there's a lot of people in this world, and our country is no exception to that, is what I should say, that are hurting inside and that are looking for a reason to act out because they're hurting inside. And if we're being honest, the reason they're hurting inside, and you know, man, it ain't like I don't have things in my life. It ain't like I don't have demons in my head. And 100%, the reason that those get the better of me at times is because I'm not close enough in my relationship with God. And that's what's going on in this country. What you're seeing is a bunch of people looking for an excuse to act out because they're hurt. And they're hurt because their relationship with Christ isn't right. If they would focus on getting closer to God and serving others, they wouldn't be angry. Because what they're doing is not serving God or serving others. There's no doubt about that. Like, there's no doubt about that. You can't argue that. So, that's the truth of the matter. I mean, at the end of the day, I fall short of it as bad as anybody. I'm as bad of an example of a Christian as there is. But any problems you have in your life, you can pretty much just say, if I get a little tighter to that good book, and I listen to what them words say in that good book, those things all go away. Now, just because you believe in that and you follow it doesn't mean that your life's going to be easy. In fact, it's quite the opposite. Your life will actually get harder when you follow that word. But what it does do is it does give you the strength and the mental fortitude to push through whatever it throws your way, because the Bible will tell you, it doesn't say that only good things happen to Christians, but it says that Christ will work all things for the good. So no matter how bad it gets, no matter what this messed up world throws at you, no matter what the devil tries to throw in your life, Christ will work it for the good if you'll follow him. The dogs are feeling it, man. Look at them. They get after it. Here we go. Here we go. It's a Thursday night rumble. Oh, I distracted her. We're going to get sugars now. No, you're not drinking my tea, dummy. What do I use in Deepwater on Lake Evans? Man, all the same stuff I use on everywhere, man. I use shaky heads. I use Carolina rigs. That 12-13 that we talked about earlier, biggest fish you might ever caught me, was caught on a Carolina rig in Deepwater on Lake Athens. One of the 5 days I fished Lake Athens last year. Skeeter and Bailey. The big one's Bailey. The old white-faced big dog, that's Bailey. That's my son's dog. So, all right, man, listen, we've had a political rant, we've had a sermon, we've talked about fishing, we've had a dog fight. I think we've covered everything that we can cover in one Thursday night live stream. I want to thank each and every one of you guys for joining us tonight, man. You guys rock. I appreciate everything y'all do to help grow this channel. Tell your friends, share it where you can share it on your social media outlets. And please, please, please show up and show out July 4th and 5th. Let's raise a bunch of money for 22 Kill and help some that have sacrificed so much to keep this country what it is, man. Appreciate you guys joining us. We'll see you next time right here on Skeeters, your Lake Fork Guide.